Hey guys, so in this video I'll be teaching you how you can make this beautiful cowl neck top, so stay tuned to learn. First, start out with a measuring tape and figure out how low you would like your cowl neck top to drop in the middle. Here I measured about 13.5 inches, so you want to remember that. Then from the strap, you want to measure there to your waist. That will be where the other strap goes to tie around your waist. Then of course measure how long you want the cowl neck top to be in the front and keep those measurements. You also want to make sure that you have your fabric on the bias. So here I have mine diagonally. That is where it gets the beautiful flow and drop for a cowl neck. This is also scrap fabric, so just bear with me with some of the measurements. They are a little bit off. This is stretchy fabric, so I was able to get away with it. However, if you have a fabric that is non-stretch, then you do want to make sure that the measurements are exact. Otherwise, it may not fit you at the end. Now here we want to measure the length of however long we measured the cowl neck top to be. As you see here, it will be about 14 inches long. And then I'm also adding a dot right in the middle, lining up to the bottom point there. And then I'm measuring 7 inches on each side of the dot that I made. That way I know it's perfectly symmetrical. Also, keep in mind my measurement was 13.5 inches, but I added about ½ an inch for seam allowance, so make sure you account for that. Then you want to go ahead and measure this side. So I actually measured about 9 inches, but again, I am using scrap fabric, so here I have to stop at around 7 inches, which worked out because this was stretchy fabric. So just draw that straight line there. And then you want to go ahead and do the same thing on both sides here. So now we have the top 14 inches, 7 inches on each side of that dot, and then about 6 or 7 inches on the side. Now we're going to go ahead and make everything symmetrical and lined up and connect those two lines here. So as you see on the right side, that is not the same length as the other side. What we're going to do is cut that off and we're going to make it even. So I'm cutting the leftover fabric off on each side here, and then I'm pinning because we're going to flip it and I don't want anything to come out of place. So we're going to flip it in half. That way we know it's symmetrical on both sides. You may not have to do this, but again, I'm working with scrap fabric, so this is what I had to do to make it work. So now we want to go ahead and line up the markings that I made. So this line here, we want to put our ruler right on the edge of that, and then we're simply going to use a rotary cutter or scissors and cut that right off. That way when we open it up, you see the shape is coming together very nicely. So now we're going to go ahead and make the straps. Here I'm cutting about 1 inch thick straps. 4 straps we're going to need, and make it about 18 inches long and put each strap here where I'm pointing. So we're going to go ahead and fold this strap in half, right sides kissing, and you can add pins or clips just to make sure everything lines up. And all you're going to do is clip that down, and then you're going to bring it to the machine and sew a straight stitch along the edge there like you see here. Then we can go ahead and cut some of the leftover raw edge of the fabric, and you can use a strap turner here. Push it in, and you want to hook that and then pull the fabric over and continue to pull that until you see the right side of the fabric come through like here. Then you can unhook it and simply pull it out, and here is how the straps is going to look. So do that with all 3 pieces. So here you see one side of the strap closed up here and the other side is open. The closed side is what you're going to want to push inside of the cowl neck top, and then the open side you want to push at the end here. That way no one will see that when you turn the top inside out. Do the same thing with the second strap and place that at the top. You can use a clip, that way it stays in place, and use a clip for the second one. And then just do the same thing for the other 2 straps here, like you see with all the clips. That way everything is staying in place. Now we can go ahead and sew a straight stitch along the edge, again allowing seam allowance, and then make sure that you leave a 1 inch opening. That way you can turn everything inside out. So this is how it looks so far. As you see, I left the opening. Now we're going to go ahead and turn that inside out here until we get it to the right side. Now here's the bottom point. I'm just picking that out so it's nice and sharp there. This is the opening. We're going to want to go ahead and either hand sew it or just sew a straight stitch along the edge, which is what I'm going to do here. I'm not sewing the top part because you want it to droop nicely. Here's how it looks so far. It looks really pretty laying down. I love the little curly edges at the side, which is the effect of sewing it. And here is the final look. I really like how it turned out. Considering this was scrap fabric, I didn't know how it was going to work, if it was going to fit. But being that it is super stretchy, that's why I was able to get away with it. But let me know what you guys think.